going on, everybody? Michael Paulvey here with Cage Titans. It is Monday night, and you know what that means. It is Table Titans night. Unfortunately, I'm solo. Andy's a little under the weather. He stayed home, and so I'm here solo. But that doesn't stop us. We have a huge show tonight. We have Mitch Raposo and Tyler Smythe, who we just announced this past week. And we have Joe Poirier calling in with his opponent, John Medina, a new opponent. But as Joe said, new opponent, same goal. And Medina's looking to make a big splash in his debut, taking on Joe Poirier. So we got a huge show tonight. I'm super excited. This past week, the big news drop was Tyler Smythe's original opponent, Jeff Joy, had to pull out. And it just so happened the stars aligned. Mitch Raposo, as I said, leading up to it, yes, that Mitch Raposo, who was an amateur champion with Cage Titans, fought all his pro fights, going up to the Ultimate Fighter, Dana White's Contender Series. He's back local, trying to get his shot back to the UFC. They just announced UFC Boston August 19th this past weekend. So who knows? We might be seeing a lot of guys fighting May 27th that are going to be fighting a little extra hard trying to get a slot on UFC Boston. I'm super stoked for this. Like I said, this is a stacked card. I didn't think it could get much bigger. I say it time and time again. I hate being that promoter that's like, yo, this is the biggest card. Yo, this is the biggest card. Because then you really can't stop. You know, like you can't really top that. It's like every time it's just like crying wolf. You just keep saying it. And people eventually stop listening. But this card, I will tell you, this is the biggest card from top to bottom that we've ever put together. Just in star power, the dynamic of the matchups, the names on both sides of the cards. There's no easy fights on May 27th. But without further ado, let's bring them out. We got Mitch Raposo. As I said, he's been training out in Vegas. I think he just got home on Saturday, so we're going to catch up a little bit about that and see what he's up to. So here we go. Let's see if I get him in. Boom. What's going on, Mitch?
What's up, bro?
How we doing?
Good, man. Long time no see.
I know. It's been a while for sure. You just got back. Like, we'll just skip right into it. You just got back from Vegas. What's it like? You've been out there for the past few months. How's it been training out in Vegas?
No, it's good, man. Getting a lot of work with a lot of guys at XC. You know, sparring with Amir Albazi a lot, Manel Cape. Just went out there to, stay ready, short notice opportunities, things like that. I didn't really know what the next move was. But being out there, you can't really get any sharper. You're not really working any harder. And be able to do it.
Yeah. So obviously, your last fight was prior to going on to the Ultimate Fighter. We haven't caught up with you since then. What was that experience like with you were on Team Volk?
Yeah, no, it was sick. I couldn't really get any luckier with a guy like Volk, and now everybody sees. Because at the time he wasn't really getting the respect he deserves, and now the dude's pound for pound #1. So I couldn't really get any lucky with the coach I got, and it was just a crazy experience. I was 22 at the time, and I just needed to grow a lot. That's really what it served its purpose. You know what I mean? And it's one of the best experiences of my life.
So going into this matchup, the stars kind of aligned. Like I said, you were trying to work on getting on another fight card here locally. It didn't work out. You gave me a call probably 2 weeks ago. I wasn't sure that things were going to be able to work. We talked about a few different other names. And then I keep saying the stars aligned. Tyler Smythe had to pull out. What do you know about Tyler Smythe, and what might get you excited about this matchup?
I've seen some stuff you guys you guys do a really good job on social media, man. You guys, your stuff's always blowing up. So I think he was an amateur champion and stuff like that. And I actually saw something that kind of it's a little chip on my shoulder, nothing crazy, but you guys called.
Seems like Mitch might have froze.
Well, it's good.
Hey, here we go. Mitch, you froze up. Go ahead.
Good. Yeah, no, I just saw some stuff on social media. You guys do a really good job with that stuff, and it blows up. And so I saw some stuff, and I saw something. You guys said he was the amateur flyweight GOAT, and I was just, that was a little chip on my shoulder because I don't think anybody's done what I've done when I was an amateur. But as far as as far as in that division, you know what I mean. But he's a talented kid, and I'm just happy he took the fight. I needed a fight really bad, and respect to the kid for taking it, but it wasn't a good move.
Yeah, so speaking of that, obviously, he had a great flyweight run. He was a champ for Cage Titans, NEF, out in Indiana, I believe, at Art of Scrap. He's only had 2 pro fights, undefeated. You mentioned he might have made a mistake. Do you think this might be a little too earlier in his career to be taking an opponent like you?
I'm not even gonna say it's too early because I'm not gonna give give the kid an excuse. You know what I'm saying? He's beating everybody else. So at the end of the day, but it's just kind of me showing that there is levels to this, and I think people know like who know the sport know what like this is. You know what I'm saying? What this matchup is. What like I said though, I'm taking the kid seriously. And that's not good news for him. I just stood away for a month, away from family, friends, sparring a top 5 guy in the world. Those ain't just sparring; those are like fights. So I don't think he just realized the type of like level he's gonna feel on fight night.
Obviously, your motivation is super high, leading into this, matchup because you're trying to get back to the UFC. Hearing them during the broadcast this weekend, is there any way to dial it up anymore? Are you a little bit more dialed up hearing that they might be coming back to Boston here at the end of the summer?
Man, I was already dialed up. As soon as they kind of told Tyson that I needed kind of another win and there was some guys ahead of me, I was already, on 100, and now UFC Boston coming August 19th. I'm just going to take care of business May 27th and everything will fall where it's supposed to. Now I'm worried about fight night. That's it. But trust me, I know that's definitely in the back of my mind.
You mentioned looking for a finish. Tyler Smythe is proven that he's not somebody that goes down easy. He's
I'm not looking
durable,
for a
tough opponent. He really pushes the pace. What do you think will be the difference maker for yourself going here?
I'm gonna get a finish. I ain't looking for a finish. I'm gonna get a finish. There's no I'm not from the bell. I know the type of fight this is gonna be. He's got a lot of holes in his game. He's a talented kid. He's a tough kid. I respect the kid. He seems to rub some people up wrong. In New England a little bit. I hear, but that's good. It's kind of like another little chip. I'm not losing. It's not happening, and I'm getting the finish. There's not no trying. I'm getting the finish.
Yeah, you mentioned, us calling him the flyweight GOAT. I think I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I think Andy would probably say that Chris Motino, a training partner of yours, is probably the flyweight GOAT because he held the 25, 35, 45. So
yeah,
Andy's not here tonight, but I got to throw that in for him because he's always giving a shout out to Chris Motino, one of his training partners and best friends.
No, that I understand. Chris for sure definitely has claim to it. But as far as strictly in that division, and I think people that see me fight now, they see how I fought as an amateur. I'm a completely different guy. This kid actually reminds me a little bit, not much. I feel like I was cleaner and with my technique and things like that, and I definitely struck a lot more than he does. But I feel like he's pretty similar to he definitely can grind fights out and he's good at what he does. I respect to that. It's not the kid's not a bum. He's got talent. He's good, but he's got a lot of holes in his game.
Nice. So speaking of that, any last thoughts on your personal progression? We've seen you. I personally saw you as a little kid training, and then we saw you your whole entire amateur career. We saw you at the very beginning of your pro career before you moved on. What can Cage Titans fans expect to see on May 27th that they might have forgot about, or just the new dynamic of Mitch Raposo? What can they expect on May 27th?
At the end of the day, there's a reason why people have, put these claims about my future and what I'm going to do. I'm at a different place mentally now than I was before. Before I kind of feel like I was kind of talking for no reason and trying to really fill that kind of spot of being the next big thing and all that. I know what I know. I know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm real sure of that. So there's not really much to say. They're just going to see really, they saw me when I was 18. I was like a baby, now they're going to see me. You know what I'm saying? They saw me crawl, see me walk. Now you're about to see me run.
Nice. So before we bring in Tyler, we had one question for Joe Leonard. He said, Mitch, what advice do you have for the current class of Cage Titans champs looking for their call to the next level promotions?
I mean, I feel I feel kind of I feel like everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and I think everybody's doing it right. I feel like New England MMA has never had more momentum. I feel like we're doing really well as far as the talent pool, and we're just getting better and better. I don't think there's any really I've trained everywhere. I don't really think there's any difference between us and, I'm saying, down in Vegas and California and all that. I feel like we're coming along, Obviously, we were a little behind and people were ahead of us, but now we're making up that ground, man. New England MMA is, I'm proud to be from New England, and I love repping that. And I kind of feel like, fighting with that a little bit of that chip on your shoulder, that kind of underdog mentality is always going to be something that the New England fighters bring. One second. I can't hear you.
So sorry, I was on mute. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up your boy, Aaron Hughes. Short Fuse Hughes. He has talked about how excited he is to be sharing a fight card with his longtime training partner, one of his best friends, Mitch. What can you tell us about Aaron, and are you just as excited to be competing on the same card as him?
Last time we shared a card, 2-0. He finished Stavros. I knocked out Burhands. So it's going to be no different, May 27th. You know, Aaron's one of my best friends. You know, people don't realize how close you get, like, in this sport, doing what we do. You know, like, you feel like blood, sweat, and tears. Like, we fight. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting your boy. You're fighting your best friend. You can't really get any closer than that. So I'm excited. He's going to do his thing. He's been training his ass off. I've been training my ass off. Last time was 2-0. It's going to be the same shit, May 27th.
Nice. All right. Andrew Mack, does Mitch have an official prediction?
I would say I know how the fight's going to go. You know, I mean, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited when like I said, I can beat him at his own game. I was telling Aaron this today. I was like, if we did a kickboxing fight, we did a wrestling match, we did a jiu-jitsu match, I'll beat this kid in every single discipline. You know, now we're doing it the whole kind of like MMA, and it makes it even more exciting. But I know how this fight's going to go. I'm excited to see what he looks like when I defend the first takedown, I defend the second takedown, and he's forced to strike, because, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to go well. But I'm excited for the fight. I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to go.
I think that's a great segue, because Tyler is here. I'd like to bring him in. I'm going to do a little work with him and talk to him separately by himself. But before we do that, let's see if we can get him in and
get him in.
You know, give him a chance to kind of give a quick rebuttal, you know, to how you think this fight's going to go. So, Tyler, where you at? I see you ceiling. There we are. So here we go, Tyler. So Tyler, obviously you were able to check in. This is a huge fight for you. First off, I'd be remiss if I didn't. You got huge balls to steal. You know, like a few different names to your coach. And when this name came up, he's like, "Yep, I'm all in. Like, let's take him." I think I woke up to the text message at 5:45 in the morning. Like, we want Mitch. You know, what was it like when that name came across to you and Nate? And what was your initial reaction when that first happened?
I'm in. That's all I had to say when Nate gave me the name. Obviously, I was upset Jeff backed out, but I got a bigger and better opportunity, so it is what it is. Nice.
So, I guess because Mitch is here, we can just jump right into it. You were able to listen to a little bit of what he had to say. What is your thoughts as you're sitting back off camera, listening to him talk about how he thinks he's just a little bit better in all facets of the game, even going as far as if it was a wrestling match, kickboxing, any of these, he'd beat you in every facet. What do you think about that?
I can see how he thinks that. He's got a lot more experience. He's been in the game a lot longer. I'm definitely an underdog. I'm guaranteed majority of the guys at Cage Titans is voting for Mitch, so I can see why he's thinking that.
You know, you got a ton of experience in the amateur ranks. You're only 2-0 as a pro so far. What do you think will be the difference maker for you in a type of fight against Mitch?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Tyler's not much of a talker. Tyler, I guess you've never been much of a talker. Is there anything why we have Mitch before we let him go that you'd like to share and your thoughts on the matchup that you'd like him to hear firsthand? I know your teammate Keegan is very much into like, hey, if I got something to say, I'm going to say it to your face. So here's your opportunity to tell Mitch if you have anything that you'd like to tell him that you think about this matchup with him.
I'm just ready to spoil the party. Spoil your coming home party. Send you back packing.
I'm from New England, bro. That don't make any sense. I was gone for a month. You're going to realize, bro. You're going to realize. I respect you for taking it, though. I wouldn't have had a fight, so I appreciate you taking it.
You were going to take it.
What is it?
I didn't think you were going to take it.
Yeah, because I'm the one taking all the risk. But at the end of the day, I'm a dog. I'm ready to fight.
Well,
A win's a win. And a finish over an undefeated guy is a finish over an undefeated guy. Trust me, I know why you took it. It's a win-win. But at the end of the day, it ain't going to be a win-win, because at the end of the day, I'm taking the risk. And at the end of that says more about what I'm doing, the type of competitor that I am.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to play safe. Like, I'll put all that shit on the line because I know what's going to happen. That's the difference. It's easy to be, it's win-win, whatever. I'll take all the risks. Fuck that. That's what the sport is. Fighters fight. Ask Poirier who I asked to fight. Joe Pennifield, Johnny Cupcakes. I would have fought anybody. I don't give a shit, and everybody knows that. So like I said, we're gonna see.
That's why I picked you.
It's a win-win for you, bro. That's why you picked me. All like even people comments, it's like, dare to be great or don't be great at all. Like, bro, like, it's a pro fight, it's a local fight. Take the fight that you think you're gonna win. No, they all say it's a win-win. That's the way you're looking at it.
No,
but I'm not gonna fight. I ain't gonna find nothing out.
Fight because I think I'm gonna win. You had your chance at the big stage. You blew it.
Listen, buddy, I'm not Arthur Mapofu. Listen, I like Arthur. I'm not Arthur Mapofu. Just don't quit in that fifth round again. Hey, just don't quit. Just don't quit in that fifth round again. All right, just don't quit. I wish we had 5 rounds. I wish we had 5 rounds. I asked for a title fight. I wish I would have got that.
I would rather it be a title fight.
Paul Bear, set that shit up.
Don't put me on the spot, guys. Let me think about that. Guys, I got a tremendous amount of respect for both of you.
I'm not talking shit. It's all respect. And then he took the fight. Respect to the kid taking the fight. I'm a competitor. He's a competitor. Like I said, that there is levels to this shit. All respect for taking it, though. I needed the fight, so appreciate it.
Well, Mitch, I think you gave us some good stuff. Everybody in the comments now wants me to make it a title fight. Make
that shit a title fight. 5 rounds.
All right, let me think on that one. I can't be put on the spot. I'm like Dana White after the press conference. It's like, after an event, it's like, I'm not making fights right now on camera. I'll think about it and get back to you guys. But Mitch, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for coming in. And I appreciate you. We'll see you on May 27th.
Later, boys.
All right, there we go. So, Tyler, man, how's it going, brother? How you doing?
Not bad. How are we?
We're doing good. I think you just shut your camera. I'm sure you're probably getting blown up with text messages from people watching. But, like I said, big balls taking a fight like this, early in your career is some of the motivation. Obviously, I know you're a dog. You fight anybody. You've never said no to a single name that I've ever given you. But, seeing him go on to the Ultimate Fighter Contender Series, is that something I talked about it when I announced the fight, but is that really some motivation there for you? Like, he's been where you want to go, and you feel like you can kind of grab that with a win over him on this fight?
Yeah, absolutely. If I put Mitch out, who's next?
I would honestly, I think Nate and I mentioned that. He said that to me. He's like, who's next if he beats him?
Mitch is the biggest name for the flyweight division, so why not? I got the opportunity. Why not? This is something I've been looking forward to for a while. This is something I've envisioned. So it happened. The opportunity prevented itself, so I took it.
Yeah, you've never been one to shy away from challenges. You've always been. What do you attest your motivation for these big stage moments? Some people are just built for it, and it seems like you are. Jumping up in weight classes, trying to get multiple belts, fighting in multiple promotions to capture multiple belts. What do you attribute that dog that you have in you, that motivation to always strive to be the best and put yourself in positions like this?
Just the hard work in the gym. We bust our ass in the gym. We're there every day, so why not fight the best guys? We're here to fight the best guys. We're not here like most of these local guys. They're just fighting bums to get their record up. I want to fight the best guys.
Yeah. What is something, if you can, obviously not talking game plan, but what's something that you think will be the difference maker for you in this fight?
Just pushing the pace. Mitch's 2 losses came from wrestlers, so that just he also, like he said, I got holes in my game. He's got holes in his game. But who can explore the holes first and come out with the win?
So one thing that he talked about that I wanted to get your opinion on, he mentioned that you reminded him a little bit of. I think he was trying to not give you credit. Maybe I could be wrong. So is Mitch or anybody. I apologize. But he seemed like he stopped short of saying you reminded him.
No, I heard
himself. Do you see that in your fight styles?
Yeah, a tad bit. I ain't gonna lie. I watched Mitch a coming up when I was in my amateur ranks. He was the top guy. He's been the top guy for quite a while in the amateur ranks and the pro ranks. He's been that guy for quite a while. So yeah, I've kept my eye on him for quite a while.
Have you actually, I guess speaking of that, you had your eye on him. Have you actually seen him fight live where you, or is this going to be the first time you'll actually see him when you're standing across the cage?
I don't believe so. I might have been in the same arena, but I don't think I sat down and actually watched. But yeah, I'm excited either way.
Yeah. Let me quickly switch gears and talk a little bit about evolution. What is it like training there? You know, I have some great interactions with Coach. You know, but it's just like guys like you and Mo and Julian and all Wakefield, Lindsey Kelly. Like, what is the atmosphere like up there, and how does that help motivate to push yourselves as strong as you have been as a team? Because you guys are all, you know, putting yourselves out there, competing nonstop. What is it like being in that gym?
It feels great. It's something I never would imagine walking. More than a team, it's a family. We're together every day, whether we like it or not. So we got to put up with each other, and it's a great feeling having teammates as close as we do.
Nice. You just competed a week ago out in Indiana out of scrap. Was that how was that? How was that fight? Obviously, you picked up the win, but how was that fight? How's that experience? You guys traveled out there a few times now. Yeah,
Art of Scrap treats us good, so we like to come back. The fight. I didn't do great in the fight. I got the win. I didn't do great, so I'm excited to get back in the cage, have a quick turnaround, and put on a better performance than I did last time.
Nice. I got a few questions before I let you go. A couple more minutes. You were at Cage Titans 58. Mo Al-Kanani, your teammate, and Peter Barrett. What was it like as a teammate watching that fight? I mean, I know what it was like as a fan and what I do for Cage Titans, but what was it like seeing that type of performance out of your teammate?
I mean, obviously it was tough seeing a teammate lose like that. But yeah, just seeing Mo take the step up in competition, it definitely gave me more motivation to do the same thing. This is my step up. This is my test, and I'm following right behind Mo.
Yeah, obviously, I kept that in mind. Like, maybe I should have prefaced it with that. It's hard seeing your teammate lose, but being in such a dogfight against a guy who's been in the UFC, and a lot of talk going into that fight is like, yo, you don't have enough experience. Who are you to be stepping up, taking this fight? Yeah. That was coming from the Peter Barrett camp, and then Mo went in there and just put on an insane performance. And the reason I ask is I feel like only in the last 3 days since we've announced this fight, people are kind of saying the same thing about this matchup. In your fight, I kind of knew it. That knowing Nate, you guys are always ready, willing to fight with anybody. So I feel like a lot of the talk of the Mo versus Peter fight is coming up with you and Mitch. Do you have any feelings on that?
No, I saw that coming. I knew the haters were going to be there as soon as the fight got announced. It is what it is. They're not going to be in that ring fighting, so I really don't give a fuck what they think.
Dude, I love your attitude. You're just no nonsense. May 27th, I'm going to take my hat off and give it to you. Let you be the promoter. Sell the Cage Titans fans on why they need to come and see Tyler Smythe on May 27th.
If you want to see fireworks, a high-paced fight,
he's a lot handsomer than me. He's frozen right now, so he's going to have to repeat it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go.
All right. If you want to see some action, tune into Cage Titans 59. Tyler Smythe versus Mitch. Tyler's getting the finish, sending Mitch packing.
There you go. All right, you heard it from the man himself. And obviously your boy Keegan's in the comments. Tyler's a legit dog. There's no denying that.
I can't see it. Oh, I see it.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for tuning in. Two more. I want predictions from you. You're fighting this fight 25, but you always keep your eye on the weight classes around you. You were competing at 35. I want your prediction. Andrew Valdina versus Will Smith. Who do you got?
Valdina.
All right. Joe Poirier versus John Medina.
I don't even know who Joe's fighting.
So, safe to say Joe, or?
Probably.
All right. All right, fine. I got one more for you because he's the main guy. Ross Hilton in the main event taking on Brandon Battles, the first ever heavyweight title fight.
I got Battles, for sure.
All right, there you go. You heard from the man himself, Tyler Smythe, some predictions. You heard him and Mitch going at it a little bit. Tyler Butter Knight Smythe taking on Mitch Raposo, Cage Tights 59 on May 27th. Thank you so much, Tyler, and I hope you have a great night.
Sweet. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, buddy. All right, there you have it. Got a little crazy there. Got a little hectic with them going back and forth. A lot of pressure. What's Joe? Actually, Joe Poirier we're going to have on in a couple minutes. He has a debut coming up. His fighter is making his debut, who we'll talk to later on in the show. But yeah, man. So Tyler Smythe, Mitch Raposo. I can't say it enough. This fight is going to be crazy. I really didn't think that we would be able to add a fight of this caliber at this stage of the game, and it just kind of worked out. I would like to not there's obviously we're disappointed Jeff Joy pulled out. The Tyler Smythe versus Jeff Joy fight was going to be incredible in its own right, and it's very rare that when you find a replacement, people are as excited, if not more excited, for the replacement fight. And I think that's what we have here. You hear the bad news. Jeff Joy is pulling out. You're kind of like immediately like, oh shit. All right, they're just going to get somebody to be able to fight to save the fight, and then we say, well, he's fighting Mitch Raposo, and then it's like you were down here, you bummed the fights off, and then bam, you might be even just as more, if not more, excited for this fight. A lot of people have been hitting me up. They're excited to see Mitch back. They're excited to see Tyler Smythe come in and take this huge step up. And, I mean, make no mistake about it, Tyler Smythe knows what he's getting himself into. And Keegan, actually, I got to throw Keegan's comment up there. He said, we're going to see Tyler striking in this fight. Nick's calling for it to be a title fight. They're kind of like forcing my hand, saying that I need to call it a title fight. The title is vacant at flyweight, so who knows? But either way, I think that Mitch has been everywhere that Tyler envisions his career path going, and now here he is trying to get back there. And I think that Smythe knows a victory here will put him right in place, and to kind of take everything that Mitch already had and then some. And Mitch knows that Tyler Smythe's no joke. He's an undefeated fighter. He had a huge amateur career. And this is a risky fight. I definitely don't disagree with Mitch in his assessment. Like, this is a risky fight. He's taking on a guy who's less experienced. And people on paper, which I hate saying, fights are never fought on paper. They might look at paper and be like, oh, this is Mitch all day. But those who know this is a very difficult fight. So there you go. Moving on. We're sticking in the flyweight division, but we got the world's biggest flyweight coming up next. Joe Poirier. Joe Poirier takes on John Medina, and this is a fight. Joe Poirier was scheduled to fight against Seth Bassler, who essentially called him out. I made a deal with Seth when he took a last-minute fight for us 2 shows ago, and the deal was, listen, you fight this one. I know it's only a few weeks' notice, but the deal is that I'll give you a second fight. You can fight anybody you want. You make the call out, and you choose who you wanted. He chose Joe Poirier because he figured that Joe would strike with him. Unfortunately, Seth had to pull out. Left us scrambling a little bit. John Medina's stepping in. John Medina's making his debut. He is a Muay Thai striker out of Team Yayo down in Rhode Island. And he's coming to kind of put his name on the map. And he has a big fight here because everybody knows Joe Poirier. He had a great amateur career. He's already started his pro career off 1-0. So without further ado, let's get his thoughts on this fight and bring in Joe Poirier. What's up, my man? You're muted. Now you're not. Oh, you have to unmute because you muted yourself.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How's it going?
The world's biggest flyweight. Can we fit you in the camera angle?
I don't know.
So, Joe, I say to you all the time, stop calling yourself the world's biggest flyweight. You make my fucking job impossible, but you've really been embracing it. You know, what's it like on this journey, man? You know, you came to Cage Titans a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Was it before?
2019. Yeah, I think before COVID.
You know, a few years ago, made all your, you know, your amateur fights. You've had a few outside of Cage Titans. Like, what's this journey been like, you know, being a cage fighter?
It's been wild. I mean, it's definitely, when I started training, I knew that I wanted to fight. So it's definitely everything I've been hoping for, you know. So it's going well.
Yeah, what got you into fighting? What was like the first kind of shoe to drop that made you like walk into an MMA gym or kind of train?
Well, I did karate when I was younger, you know, like everybody else, for a few years when I was a kid, and then a little bit of wrestling, a few camps and stuff like that. And then I met through some mutual friends, Peter Luciani,
Nice.
and he got me full into it.
He's picking his face. There he is. Is he back?
Oh,
there we go.
can you
Sorry,
hear me?
got cut off a little bit. So you did karate and stuff growing up?
Yeah, and then I met Pete Luciani, and it was all over after that.
Oh shit! It definitely is all over when you meet Pete Luciani. He's an incredibly interesting person. We've had the pleasure of him fighting for us. I've had the pleasure of seeing him many times outside the cage. Great guy. Speaking of him, he's really like started mentoring guys, and they would call it the Luciani special. You won. You got to knock down. I think you guys did a side by side of you and Valdina with that left hook. Valdina got the finish. I think you got the finish. What's it like training with Pete and what he brings to the table for you guys?
It's chaos always, but I mean, he has a certain genius about the way he goes about it. You know, obviously it's paying off. You can see firsthand.
Gotcha. So, you know, obviously, you know, this is a change in opponent jumping into, you know, this new opponent. What do you know about your new opponent, if anything, and what do you expect on May 27th?
I know what he looks like now because the banner got posted. That's about it.
Speaking of this, so when you go into a fight, you know, when you have an opponent that you don't know much about, there's not film on it, there's not really anything. He doesn't even have social media, so we didn't see a picture of him. What is it like for you preparing for something like that?
It's the same preparing for all these guys. You know, I'm trying to be the best everywhere, so I just take the fight where it goes, and yeah, just kind of organic in there, moving naturally, and yeah, just be ready everywhere. That's the goal, right?
Let me ask you a question, you know, on you know, sticking with this topic. You know, there's some fighters who have the mentality when they're fighting, they focus on what their opponent's doing. They'll watch tape, break it down. And then there's other fighters who just have the mentality like, I don't care what my opponent's going to do. I know what I'm going to do. What is your preparation like?
I haven't watched tape on too many of the guys that I've fought. I kind of leave that to the coaches and let them dissect it and tell me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. But I mean, like I said, there isn't too much game plan. You know, I have my game, and I just play my game and make them bend to my knee. You know.
What's something, you know, obviously you just fought for Cage Titans, but what's something new that you might be bringing to the table for Cage Titans 59?
Well, I'm trying to get some of these elbows and knees in here since I'm pro now, you know what I mean? So whether it's standing or on the ground or what, I'd love to utilize some elbows and knees.
You know, since you've been jumping around a little bit, I see you over at New England, the New England Cartel. I see you over at Lozon's. I see you in Connor's basement. What's it like, you know, training camp-wise been for this fight?
It's been going good. Yeah, a lot of moving around, you know, going where the work is, the best days. I just started back up my day job, so I got to kind of work around that schedule now. But yeah, it's been good. A lot of good guys in the area, so plenty of people to work with, you know, always good work.
Shout out to Andrew Mack. He corrected me. Connor's mom's basement, not Connor's basement.
Yeah, no, it's his mom's.
How is it? Does she come down? Does she bring you is she like one of those movie moms where she like bring down cookies for all his friends and lemonade and stuff?
Yeah, she'll come down. Sometimes she makes some food and go up and get a bite to eat, you know.
Nice. what is you mentioned you're started back to work. What does Joe Poirier do by day?
I work for a hydro seeding company. They do like bids for like Eversource, like gas meters, like repairs and stuff like that.
Nice. Seeing I want to jump around a little bit, but we just had Tyler Smythe and Mitch Raposo on. Tyler Smythe, former opponent of yours. What do you think of that matchup when you heard that announced?
I mean, I think it's a good matchup. Maybe not this early in Smythe's career. I know he's jumping at the opportunity. I don't know if it's the smartest decision out of him and his team at this point, you know what I mean? But really doesn't have much to lose. So
with that being said, prediction for that fight, with that type of comment, I'm assuming.
I feel bad because he just told me, he just predicted I'm winning my fight, but I don't think I can give it to Smythe. I mean, if he does, hey, that's great for him. But I see Mitch defending the takedowns and outstriking him.
Gotcha. Speaking, obviously you shared the cage with Smythe. What's some of the strengths that you saw in Smythe's game that you think, even if you're not picking him, that could help him out in this matchup?
I'd have to say his persistence with the takedown. He's gonna need to take Mitch down if he wants to win. So he's definitely gonna need to be persistent with it.
Nice. And have you've been training with New England Cartel and a few other gyms. Have you had the opportunity to cross Mitch in the training room?
Yeah, getting ready for the May card, he was around a lot. We were doing sparring up in Cambridge with Cartel guys. So I've worked with him pretty recently.
Nice. Well, I know your opponent. We said we don't know much about him, but he's calling in later. If you had a message to your opponent, John Medina, what would that message be?
Good luck, buddy.
Anything besides that?
No, that's it. That's all he needs. Luck.
All right. Well, he is here now, so it looks like he's at work as well. You mind? We'll bring him in and we'll kind of see. We'll see what he's got to say about the matchup and what he's looking forward to in this fight. So let's see. He's driving, so you better be safe, John. How's it going, my man?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
Good. Where are you driving to?
Right now I'm headed back to Rhode Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know you just came in. You weren't able to maybe listen, but what do you know about your opponent, Joe Poirier, and what are you looking forward to in this professional debut for yourself?
From what I've seen, he's a very talented fighter. And to be honest, I'm just looking to get in there and get my name out there and have a good time. About it, to be honest.
Yeah. So Joe Poirier has been around Cage Titans for a little while, and the fans kind of know him. Your first time stepping in the cage for Cage Titans. What can fans expect from you?
To be honest, on that one, I like to keep a low profile, so maybe a ghost are looking for just a surprise. Looking to surprise everybody and go from there. Just show everybody what I got.
I like it. So you're going to keep us guessing. Joe, obviously John's here. He's making his professional debut. You just made your professional debut not too long ago. I know it's weird, but any advice for somebody like, making their debut? What would you give for advice?
For advice for debut?
Yeah.
Against me or in general?
Just in general. Not against you, obviously. You don't want to give him a tip. But just in general, what would it be? Enjoy the moment? What do you think?
Yeah, soak it all in, You only get to do it once for the first time.
Yeah. I was going to try to get you guys to go back and forth, but John's decided that he's going to be a ghost and keep us all surprised. So he didn't really give me much to go with. So, Joe, before I let you go, and I'm going to talk to John a little bit alone, the floor is yours. I gave Tyler my promoter's cap. The promoter cap is yours. Sell your fight coming up with John Medina and what Cage Titans fans Because it's a huge card, it's a stacked card, but why should they circle your fight on this card?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm the first fight of the pro card, right? So start the night off with a bang. You know what I mean? I'm only going to be doing exciting stuff in there, not looking to squeak out a decision win or anything like that. It's going to be fireworks. So tune in, show up, buy your tickets. Let's make it happen.
All right. And then finally, one more thing before you leave. Official prediction for your fight.
Official prediction. KO in the first.
All right. There you have it. Joe, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Joey.
Thank you.
Valdina called you Joey Peds.
Joey PEDs. Oh, God, this guy, huh?
All right. I know you're training partner, so there you go. All right, my man. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now I'm back with my buddy, John Medina, the ghost, that he's not giving me anything. So I mean, at least you're working right now, I'm assuming. What are you doing for work?
So I drive trucks for a living. Basically, I pick up bins of books, bring them back to Rhode Island, donations, stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Let's get a little bit into it, if you don't mind.
No
just
problem.
to get the fighters to know you a little better, and the fans. What brought you into the MMA world? And I know you've had some kickboxing matches over at Gillette's. I think you might have had a fight a few years back. What brought you to this sport and competing?
Well, I've been into the sport since I was very young, since like 15 in high school. So with wrestling there and my kickboxing ability since I was younger, I've always wanted to make it to the big show. So to me, this is a great opportunity. So I'm just trying to make it as far as I can before it's too late. You only live once.
Yeah. You're training with, and you're with an old friend of ours, Frank Falso, who fought back in Cage Titans like 2 or 3, and he goes back a long time. How's it training with a friend like that?
Frank is like my brother. He's actually my brother-in-law, so so it's pretty good. He's amazing. He's an amazing coach. He's, I don't know how to explain it, man. Words can't describe it, but he's taught me very well. Like I said, I just can't wait to show it all out there. I'm just 27.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of, helping training you and getting you ready for this fight, what's some advice that he's given you? Because he's made that walk before as a professional fighter. What's some advice that you've been listening to that he's given you?
Like I said, to always stay calm. Go for what you're actually gonna go for. Don't hesitate, and just reach for greatness. That's it. To be honest, always motivational words. So
nice. So Joe predicted KO first round. Any predictions from you that how you think this fight's going to go, or just like you said earlier, you're just going to have to find out on fight night?
Just gonna have to find out. But if he thinks he's gonna knock me out, he got nothing coming.
There you go. If you note a little bit about him, is there any things that you see in his fight game that either you think you can exploit and take advantage of, or that stand out that you need to watch out for?
To be honest, not really that type of guy. And the way I look at it, I'm very private, so I don't think I'm gonna give away my secrets on what I see from him. So it's just like I said, just waiting for the 27th to show what I got. I'm here to stay, so let's get it going.
There you go, man. I love it. I totally respect being private. Like I always say, if I didn't have Cage Titans, I would not be a social media guy. I would not be out there in the public doing stuff like that. So I can respect that. I won't push you too much further than before I do let you go, any shout outs, family, things like that, or anybody that you want to give a special shout out to for helping you get ready for this fight, your professional debut on May 27th.
No, definitely. Shout outs to my team. My guy Frank, everybody knows. That's my brother. I got Kevin DeManny, which I've learned for so many years, and my coach Ed. So I just want to give a shout out to them. I appreciate them, and it's time to shine now.
There you go. It is time to shine. John, I thank you for taking time. I know you're not really like to be in the public, but I do appreciate you taking a few minutes tonight to tune in with us. And I speak for everybody. I look forward to meeting you at weigh-ins and seeing you May 27th.
No, of course. I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
You as well.
All right. There you go. John Medina, Joe Poirier. I try. Sometimes I can only get so much out of the guys. Sometimes guys want to go a little bit. Sometimes they don't want to give me a lot. But I respect either one. You got guys like Mitch, who was nonstop earlier in the show. Like, he is a guy that is not afraid to speak in front of the camera. He's not afraid to put himself out there, make predictions, tell people how he feels. And then you got a guy like John that's like, yo, I'm not even on social media. I did this as like just to call in to be nice. Like, I don't want to give nothing away. But either way, there you have it. We had Mitch Raposo, Tyler Smythe, Joe Poirier, and John Medina. 2 big fights that are going down, all 4 guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Hopefully next week I'll have Andy back. Get some more people. If anybody wants to come down to the studio, you're here at Coops Bar Grille in Quincy. Shout out to the Coops softball team. I did not play softball, but they gave me this shirt, so I appreciate it. I had to represent them and rock it tonight. Actually, I'll tell you the truth. I had it at the bottom of my stairs for like 2 weeks since the season started. They gave it to me. And finally today, my wife's like, if you don't wear this effing thing, I'm throwing it in the garbage. It's been on the stairs for 2 damn weeks. So I was like, give me that shirt. And I threw it on today. There you go. I gave you a little secret. I'm the opposite of Medina. I'm giving you everything. Hopefully she's not watching. But she's not on social media, so she's probably not. Anywho, thank you guys for tuning in. May 27th, I cannot say it enough. Get your tickets. Get them early. It's 3 weeks out. All the fighters have tickets in their hands. Hit them up. Get your tickets. Do not wait to the last minute, because I'm telling you right now, front row's already sold out. The balcony's already sold out. The VIP booths are already sold out. I think there's select mezzanine available online and a few floor seats. I see Tyler Pimentel in the comments. I cannot add any more seats. I've already had the call with him last week. I'm like, yo, you're going to have to add more seats. And he's like, I can't. You're not getting any more seats out of the setup crew. So just get your tickets early. Usually we have tickets all the way up till fight week, and usually it'll sell at the beginning of the fight week. Sometimes you get lucky and a couple more days after that. But I'm telling you now, we're going to be collecting tickets and everything early from the fighters. The show's pretty damn near close to sold out, if not already, and we're 3 weeks out. So hit up your favorite fighter. They have their tickets for like another week or two, and then we're going to collect them back, and that's it. So just get your damn tickets. I can't sugarcoat it any better. And it's not just me bullshitting you trying to get you to get tickets early. I just am telling you, because it's a huge card. You know, we have Brandon Battles and Ross Hilton, the first ever heavyweight title fight. We got Zach DiSabatino and Jacob Bone in the co-main event. We got Pat Casey and Marty Navis, Trevor Goody and Jack Congdon, Will Smith and Andrew Valdina, Jake Hicksenbaum and Aaron Hughes. We just had Joe Poirier and John Medina. We added Tyler Smythe and Mitch Raposo. And those are just the pros. What about the amateur title fights? We got Miguel Silvestre defending for the first time against Sergey Parasutko. We got the interim middleweight title with Colin Robinson looking to get 2 belts. He's already the Muay Thai middleweight champ. He's looking to make the MMA cage titles champ, taking on Jadafer Ojukwu. We got Jake Kasky, Joe Attella. Like, I could just name the whole damn card because it's just that stacked. This card, top to bottom, is the biggest cage titans card we've put together in terms of the magnitude of the fights and the names that are on the card. Before I go, because I said I'd be under an hour, Andrew Max got a question. Mike, do you think within a year of outgrowing Plymouth Memorial Hall? I'll be honest, no. This question comes up a lot. I guess I could take some questions for my last 8 minutes. Hold on 1 second. Tyler Smythe said, I don't have tickets yet. They're actually overnighted to you. I'm going to get you the Tyler Smythe. I'll get you the tracking so we can figure out where they are. But anyways, Andrew Mack, do you think outgrowing Plymouth Memorial Hall? I get this question. I've been honestly getting this question for the last few years. I will say, I moved my family. I live in Plymouth. I love Plymouth. I love the venue. If I don't think that we could get another venue that provides the experience and that atmosphere that Plymouth Memorial Hall does. So I don't think I would ever leave Memorial Hall. People say, do you want a bigger boat or more boats? I'm of the mentality of going more boats. Back in the day, we used to do 4 or 5 shows a year. Now we're growing to 6, 7, 8 shows a year. So I'm going with that motto is, a bigger boat or more boats. And that's kind of what my philosophy. I did an interview on a podcast last week that I think is dropping this week. And they asked me, and I really think that Memorial Hall, you go to other venues and I'm not taking direct shots at anybody. And if you're a promotion watching this, you might, oh, he's taking a shot at me. It just is what it is, and it's not. But you go to other venues and you're standing in the back and you're looking over a crowd because it's level ground. And, if you're not in the first 2 rows, you can't really see anything. And you're looking over people's heads, you're standing on your chair, whatever. Like, I just don't like that. So those level ground venues, I just can't stand. I've gone to those and I've watched one fight and I just turn around and walk out. The other thing I think with those level grounds or casino shows, people are there to socialize first and hang out and have a good time. And who else do they see in the crowd? And then there's a little pocket of people shooting the shit and just kind of talking. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, my friend's about to fight. And then they focus. It's a socialization at some of those other venues and casino shows. It's a socialization with fights going on in the background. At Memorial Hall, there really is not places to kind of congregate and socialize. You're forced to sit there and watch the fights. So you're there focused and you're at fights, and socialization is second. You're there for the fights. And I think that really translates in the Cage Titans product, because when you watch Cage Titans and you're in that venue, the atmosphere is just second to none. The excitement is second to none. And there's not like huge, like they're super excited and then they're lull. I just like they're all focused and you keep your energy up and the fighters feed off that. I just honestly, I fought at Memorial Hall. I've done, since 2011, it's been our home. I've been to other shows and I just tell you that I just don't think that there's another venue that can provide what Memorial Hall does. And yeah, man. So if we keep growing, maybe what we might see is smaller number of fights on a card. Like this card, we have 16 fights. I could maybe take this card in the future and split this to 2 shows and maybe do 1 show this month and 1 show next month and then still come back. And so maybe that was a future of Cage Titans where you see like fight cards that are like the UFC, like 10 fights and a little bit smaller as opposed to 16 fights. That's probably what I could see happening. But yeah, so there's your answer, Andrew Mack. He hit he says I hit the nail with the socialization. I truly feel that. So I think the fighters feel that too. You know that. Like I know I've gone to fights at casinos and it's like I actually fought at a casino. I fought a reality fight and I shared the story on the podcast. So sorry that I'm jumping the gun on what I talked about on the podcast. But I remember being fighting at reality in Mohegan Sun. And a friend of mine was like, I'm going to be gambling all night. And he told a couple of the other friends, hey, text me when he's about to walk out or the fight before. And he wasn't even in the venue the entire time. They text him. He comes into the venue to watch the fight. I think I finished the fight in 1:24. He didn't even see my fight. This kid drove 3 hours to come watch me fight. But he was there to gamble and happened to catch my fight. And he didn't even catch my fight. But it just goes. And I remember I've gone to Vegas and other venues. It's like, you're with a group of friends. They're there to support you. And they want to support you for you. But they're like, if there's other things going on at a venue, they're going to go do the other shit and just come back to watch you. At Memorial Hall, what happens is you're forced to sit there and watch. And you might be waiting to see Andrew Baldina fight. But you're sitting there like, I can't really do anything else. I didn't really want to watch fights. I'm not really into fights. It was against Johnny Lopez. No, it wasn't Johnny Lopez. I'm sorry. Johnny Lopez is a different fight. But they become fans of what they're watching because they're feeding off each other. So many people come to me like, MMA is not my thing. I don't know if I want to go to fight. And then they're there and they feel the atmosphere. Like, holy shit, I'm never missing another one. So that's it. Domenico, was that against Johnny Lopez? Actually, I did fight Johnny Lopez for reality. And but that was at Plymouth Memorial Hall. That was my first experience at Plymouth Memorial Hall. I'm not going to get up and take it off the wall. So shout out to my man, Big Mikey Da Silva. He actually took, fuck it, I'll get up. Hold on. He actually framed some of my old fight posters that were on the wall. So let me go grab it. So Mikey, we're redoing the office down here at the Cage Titans headquarters. So I'll pull it off the wall. But yeah, here's actually, I think this is the Johnny Lopez fight. You can kind of see that I had some hair in that. I had a little bit of hair then. Had some abs. But it was when I was the Coops doorman, Plymouth Memorial Hall. So shout out to Mikey Da Silva who framed that for me. He found that in my office upstairs. But yeah, so there you go. Trip down memory lane. I hit 57 and 35 seconds. I got 2.5 minutes left. Any last questions? I'll take them. If not, we're going to peace out. Mikey, Big Mikey Da Silva, let's fucking go. I can't wait to see everyone at the hall. Grab your tickets and grab your favorite fighter shirts. We recorded something earlier with Big Mikey Da Silva, and he actually said that. He goes, I'm sick of seeing generic Nike t-shirts and Adidas and friggin' God knows what bullshit tees. If you're coming to the fights at Plymouth Memorial Hall, rep your favorite fighters' colors. Hit them up and get a t-shirt. Fighters, if you don't make t-shirts, make a damn t-shirt and get out there. It's another great opportunity to make some extra bucks besides selling tickets and besides your purse. And when you get a ticket, get the fighter shirt. It makes such a difference when you see that venue and you see all these pockets of fans and you're like, oh, well, that's the Peter Barrett crowd. Oh, that's the Joe Giannetti crowd. Oh, that's the Valdina crowd. It definitely adds to it. And speaking as a fighter myself, you know, when I was fighting, looking out in that crowd and seeing those Sia shirts and hearing them cheer, it definitely gives you that extra gear when you need it. So there you go. There you have it. Table Titans is done. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I appreciate the guests, Mitch Raposo, Tyler Smythe, Joe Poirier, and John Medina calling in. And if you're a fighter fighting on the card, or you're just somebody in the public that wants to call in to the show, it's super simple. We send you a link. You can just pop right in. You put it in your browser, and you pop up, and we can bring you in. If you're just a fan that wants to talk about the most exciting fight coming up on the card. If you're, media, I see Domenico. You ever want to pop on the show, hit me up. We'll bring you in. If you want to come down, we're here at Coops Bar Grille. So there you have it, guys. I had enough. I'm babbling at this point. Appreciate you guys. Get your tickets May 27th. Cage Titans 59. And we'll see you soon.